Hi, Sean. How are
Hey,
you?
Mr. Vu. Good, good. How are you?
Good, very good to see you. First of all, I would like to talk about your family, where you're from, and where you grew up.
Yeah, sure. Well, I was born in Chicago. My mom's from China, so she grew up in Beijing, and my father was born in Canada. But my dad's in the hotel business, so throughout my entire life, every 2 to 3 years, we'd move to a new place.
That's good. So you've been, living in different places, and are not only multicultural, but you are multi-resident. I was wondering, were you very interested in music at that time, or just you okay, or you just like, oh, Forrest, my mom wants me to do? What was the feelings back then?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say it was totally my decision, but when the truth is, when I was younger, it was very much driven by my parents. Um, I still remember being dragged into my first piano lesson when I was 5. That was back when we lived in New Jersey. So when it that was I don't know, maybe like 3 4 years later was when I came to see you for the first time. So I was still like unsure about it. It was, the having to practice every day was sometimes as a little kid, you'd rather be playing video games, right? Um,
Sure.
but yeah, I'm grateful for it now. But it is definitely at the time, it was more kind of driven by my parents. Yeah.
Many families they made decision. Just parents made decision to let the kids study because kids has no idea what they should learn. And then the question would be, even you wasn't really quite willing or understanding what you should to do. And so, what do you feel right now? The decision your parents made when you were young led you get into this music lessons.
I can speak about it later, but I mean, music has kind of kept me grounded um, for a lot of my childhood as I grew up. Piano was just, it really has been such a big part of my like early life, um, and has kind of set me up for what I do today. And even though it's maybe completely unrelated to music, there's a lot of transferable things that I learned from it. So, looking back today, I'm definitely really grateful and happy that my mom, pushed me to go to piano lessons and sat by me every day to practice piano when I was younger. One, to make sure I was doing it, I was actually doing it, but also because, she wanted to make sure I was doing it the right way. So very grateful for it. Looking back, I'm very happy that I kept with it.
And tell me about your experience in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. I mean, I remember moving to Saudi Arabia at the beginning. I think we tried to do lessons over Skype, if you remember that.
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah, now I remember.
Saudi Arabia was an incredible experience. It's one of the places that, oddly enough, I probably enjoyed the most of all the places we moved to because of, you'd think that it's a place where there'd be all these restrictions and you'd feel, kind of secluded, isolated, and maybe kind of locked up a bit. But I actually felt the most free as a little kid in Saudi Arabia. It was really safe. As as surprising as that may sound to some people, it was really safe and really fun. And piano was a big part of my life while I was there. Like I try pieces like that I thought at the time were just crazy and too hard, too difficult
I
for
remember
me.
you went to some competition.
Yeah, I performed. It was like a 30-minute set, and it was just outside of Paris in a small town called Maison Lafitte. But it was a great experience, and definitely like that period of time, I feel like the quality of my playing and the type of pieces I was felt more comfortable playing just jumped drastically. It was a cool time.
Yeah. When you're in high school, I remember we had a communication. You still like took piano lessons with the college professor, right? There.
Yeah, at the university just down the street. And I'd say definitely over the course of high school, as things got busier, it was more just about enjoying music, like playing music that I liked. And then also I started playing, more contemporary music and collaborating and like pit orchestras or accompanying the choir or the orchestra. And so, the way in which I used all the experience that I developed in piano over the years kind of shifted a bit.
So besides your music interest and activities you do, any other hobbies or any other activities you did in high school?
In high school, I was really big into sports, as was my brother. So I was on the soccer team, the basketball team, and then the kind of third semester, I always just did something I was interested in trying. So I did squash for a bit, I did sailing 1 year, and then I did track for 2 years. So it was kind of just having fun and playing around. And then beyond sports, did a lot of art. So art was a big part of it. Piano was a big part. So I tried to, throughout the year, do as much of that as possible. In my senior year, I ended up doing AP art. And so I had to, develop a whole portfolio of pieces. And
I see. So you quite a busy. You know have so many things. Just how do you manage your time? I mean,
I mean, that's one thing piano taught me was how to have a good schedule. Um, and that comes back to how it kind of helped ground me in many respects, because every day, I, without exception, without no excuses, I would practice an hour. You just have to block out your time, and piano helped me do that pretty easily.
that's good. So the piano lesson did taught you some other skills. I
Yes,
work.
definitely.
Okay, so uh, let's move on to, let's say, beyond high school. Then, when you were ready to apply universities, what process in your mind to say, oh, which school I should apply, what um, I'm going to be majoring, or have you ever thought of that, or how you structure your thought to apply the college? Can you share the decision-making process with us?
Hmm. Graduating, when I left high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to study. So, that immediately kind of cut off some options. So I knew kind of going into it, I wanted some flexibility. And that was what a lot of US colleges kind of offered. I applied to Harvard early, and then got in, and then I applied to UBC as well and got in, but I decided not to go. Um, and then I just decided when I got in early here that I just didn't want to do anymore.
And that brings me another question. Uh, why they pick you, Harvard? Do you know anything you did special or any good reasons you can share with us to help other people applying to Harvard so they might
Sure,
get
sure.
some kind of inside secrets?
Inside secrets, I don't have any inside secrets, but I think like I was diligent in school, like I put the effort in, but I was also, I thought it was just as important to put equal effort into things that were outside of the classroom. So not just the school element, but the things that I was pursuing and spending my time on beyond just studying and beyond just what I was learning. It really comes down to just um, following where your heart is, as cheesy as that sounds, like kind of finding the things that you enjoy doing and just trying to do those things really, really well. I think that's what will ultimately help you stand out. Because, like you said it yourself, there are plenty of people, smart people out there who can, do well in school and get a good test score and whatever else. But you want to stand out in some way, and why not do that in something you love? So when you're applying and you're writing your application, you're basically telling a story. You're telling a story about who you are and what you spend your time on really dictates, shows it kind of shows who you are as a person. So, it's think about it as storytelling, less so about selling yourself is how I thought about it. And yeah.
Yeah. What did you put? What's the main story you put on your personal statement in the application?
Uh, I wrote about my like my experience in Saudi Arabia. Um, but I didn't write about it broadly. My my essay kind of a lot of it took place on the plane ride to Saudi Arabia, and it was kind of using that, and I just flashed back to different points in my life, uh, things that really influenced me, and so yeah, like the essay is just a good chance to share parts of yourself that admissions officer can't really sift out or see just based off like a list of what you do with your time and all of that. Like it's just an opportunity to show them who you are. And
All right, wonderful. So, my next question would be, what do you see yourself 5 years from now?
the answer is constantly changing, but
Mhm.
entrepreneurship is an area that I'm really interested in pursuing, and specifically, hopefully with what I'm studying, I'd love to kind of take that and apply it to the biology space. Um, so that's kind of where I see myself in 5 years, is hopefully either having started something of my own or working, with the founding team, like at an early stage, working on some exciting ideas.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's exciting news. So, uh, if you were going to give some advice for the students or young people still in school,
Mhm.
and what you would say to them right now?
I know it's different in different parts of the world. Like in China, I know, you have Gaokao, and it's like you have all
Right.
kinds of, stresses that, unfairly, doesn't exist where, in Canada, which is where I went to school. Like I said, I think you should think about what you do outside of the classroom with just as much emphasis and love and excitement as you do within the classroom. I think that'll benefit you greatly. Um, the moments where I learned the most were, memories that were outside of sitting at my desk.
Sean, that's been such a pleasure to talking to you. And
Well, thanks for having me, and good luck to everyone watching.
all right, thank you again for your time.